Hello, what is up, everybody? My name is Mario Pichardo. Today's story comes out of the Wall Street Journal, and it's about Tony Robbins. It says he loses role with $38 billion planning firm. Now, this actually comes out of Barron's. It says creative planning decision to eliminate Robbins' position wins praise from advisors. Now, this is something that is super important that I really wanted to get into and talk about, specifically because this is an issue that we covered before. And now it's coming back, and it's coming back full circle. And we know why it's coming back, because this is an issue where it was Buzzfeed that originally reported the issue, where they said that Tony Robbins was engaging in conduct that was, abusive towards women, sexually, or he was making advances, he was being inappropriate. And Buzzfeed gathered all these sources together to make this case against Tony Robbins. One of the women in particular who he claims did something came out and vocally spoke against it and was stating that Buzzfeed approached us already having an idea of what they wanted to print, and they were just looking to add my name to the list of people who was attacked or in some way kind of used by Tony Robbins in some way. And she said that, that's absolutely not the case. In fact, Tony Robbins has really helped me to push my career, to do all these things that I never would have done otherwise. She went on to say they're just taking it out of context because they have an agenda, so on and so forth. And so BuzzFeed runs the story, even though the woman comes out and has to deny it in front of BuzzFeed because BuzzFeed really uses her as like the main person to push this narrative. And she comes out and she says that's not true, it's fake news. And then BuzzFeed doubles down on the story. And BuzzFeed says, no, this is true. We vet everything that we do, so on and so forth. They go on to say that even though the woman who they're using to say that this certainly happened comes out and completely denies the story, completely denounces it, completely debunks it, BuzzFeed still doubles down on it. And this is what we see as a result of this kind of journalism, quote unquote journalism, because it's not real journalism, it's activism, and even false activism at that, at least with this specific woman, where it's kind of, it really is, not real. So because of those allegations, Tony Robbins loses his role with this planning firm for apparently $38 billion or something like that. The danger here is it creates a society where a journalist could go to anybody, print any story that they want, because that's really the precedent that's being set here. You can print any story that they want. They'll always, be totally fine. People aren't going to freak out about it, and whoever they want to victimize is going to be victimized in ways like this. And so it's disgusting to see a platform like BuzzFeed kind of derail Tony Robbins. Now, I don't know about these other allegations from these other women, if they're true or not, but the trend that we've noticed is that companies will do this a lot, and they know what they're doing, and they do it on purpose because they have an agenda. They know who they want to take offline, and they do it. And so what they do is they call up these firms, like this planning firm, for example, and they'll tell them, hey, we know that you support sexual misconduct, or we know that you support, I don't know, insert another controversial issue here. And they'll go to these firms and they say, hey, we know you support this. Can we get a comment? And then the firm will come out and they'll say, what? No, we don't support that. We don't think that's good. And then the reporter, whoever they are, wherever they're from, will say, oh no, but you do, because you print the story about Tony Robbins because you print the story about this person and this person's associated with that. So yeah, you do support it. And, you know, and so what that firm will do is they'll turn around and they'll say, oh, all right, maybe we shouldn't continue this relationship with this person, particularly because they have, they're associated with this and we didn't know that. And, you know, it would be better for us in the public limelight, in the public sphere, if we disconnected from them because of this reason, because we don't want to get in trouble for having this kind of relationship, so on and so forth. And that's what ends up happening. And the advertisers, you know, aren't going to look into every specific case. They're not going to take the fight because they're just businesses looking to make money. You know, they're not trying to be activists. They're not trying to do any of this stuff. And so they look at Tony Robbins now and they say, okay, well, he's a liability. We don't want to be associated with him. If this blows up in the future, it's going to be bad. And so here's what we see. It says Creative Planning's decision to eliminate Robbins' position wins praise from advisors. And so this is what you get, is that people say, yeah, let's not do it. And so it sucks because this is a story we reported on recently, one of the allegations. And we live in a world now where, listen, MeToo's blown up. And we were talking about this in another article as well, where we were talking about men in the workplace and how men in the workplace don't feel comfortable even being in a room with a woman alone. The vice president came out and said a while ago, you know, I'll never be in a room by myself with a woman unless my wife's there or someone else, because, you know, these guys know, or people know, that because of Me Too, the presumption is, and you know, they came out, the Democrats and the Me Too kind of people came out and said this during the Kavanaugh hearings, that you should always believe the victim, even if they don't show any evidence. We need to just believe the victim, regardless of anything that happens or regardless of if there's any proof. And so we've kind of created a society now where, because of the Me Too movement, it's very dangerous to kind of just be a man, because people can just throw random allegations against Tony. I mean, you could say that, oh, it was at one of his events and he walked by and he did this. And you can just say that and not have any other evidence. And before you know it, you know, you could be derailed or you can be deplatformed. And that's really the society, unfortunately, that we have now, as a result of Me Too, as a result of things like this. And so, as unfair as it is, you know, for Tony, these other allegations I can't speak to. I won't speak to them. I haven't looked into them. I don't know if they're true or not. But just going off that one story and seeing this happen constantly with different people who have different political ideals, you know, sometimes they'll call up an advertiser and say, oh, he's associated with the far right because he believes that we're bringing in too many immigrants, for example. He'll say, oh, you know, I think we're, you know, this random person, they'll say, oh, you know, we're bringing in too many immigrants. I think we need to just let in legal immigrants. The people can come in, but they have to come in legally. And even just saying that, you know, if you have an advertiser, these groups will come together, they'll call your advertiser and they'll say, oh, this person is a white supremacist, or they'll say something similar. And then the advertiser doesn't know if it's true or not, but they are afraid of the negative backlash of it. And so they're just going to drop out. And so that's how a lot of these activists who claim to be journalists are able to get their way, is they kind of take these dirty tactics and they just kind of smear people. And it sucks, but that's just how it is. And so to see this happen with Tony Robbins is like, well, this is just another, you know, he's just another victim of this same system. But that's all we have for you guys today. If you guys liked the video, please feel free to hit the like button. If you loved it, hit the subscribe button, and hit the bell icon so that you're notified of the next time we post a video and it goes live. Any comment that you guys make on the video tells YouTube, hey, this is a good video, you know, you should share it with more people. So please feel free to do that, or not. You don't have to do anything, but any kind of engagement helps the channel. It helps us grow. So if you guys are feeling generous or not, feel free to do either. But with that, guys, we're going to end it here. Have a good one.